BGN Highway Transportation provided by Cedar Ridge RV Center, Branchville, New Jersey, featuring Winnebago. Call 1-800-988-4884 to see why Cedar Ridge is our choice of champions. Well, it was a full moon Friday night here at Richmond, but unlike most full moon nighttime short tracks, very little action and destruction until that last lap, and Jeff Green and Chad Little got together. Let's find out what happened. Let's go to the garage.
Well, you're right, Mike. Dale Jarrett and Mark Martin weren't the only ones that were driving their hearts out right there at the end of the race. Chad Little involved in a last lap skirmish with Jeff Green. Chad, what happened there?
Just bump getting into turn one, I guess. You know, you guys got the film. Let's take a look at it.
All right, you had one of those days. We're going to take a look at it right now. You had one of those days that just didn't seem like things were going to go your way. You drove your heart out, though.
Well, the car was all right. You know, we probably missed it a little bit. Felt like the motor was a little weak too today, but I mean, it wasn't an altogether bad day. It's just, I guess, one of those things, you know. What do you want me to say?
Well, no, you're saying the things that you know, that I understand coming from you. I know you're disappointed, but this thing's not over. I mean, you know, stranger things have happened, particularly in this sport. And I know your guys. I see the T-shirts you have on. We may be the underdog, but it ain't over. And the crash at the last lap there only cost you 2 positions. But I know you guys are going next week to Dover Run just as hard as you can. You haven't given up yet.
No, I mean, we still got 4 races left, and let's do the best we can. You know, what goes around comes around.
He says it all right there, Chad Little. Gracious enough to talk to us after a hard-fought battle. He'll be back strong next week. Randy?
Well, a lot of guys that are running for leads and championships over the course of the years, people would say, oh, they're stroking. They're protecting their lead. They're not running at the front. Not the case with this man, Johnny Benson. Got beat by 2 strong cars, 2 great drivers tonight, but you had a heck of a run.
I tell you what, them guys are, man, they're fast. And we had a good car. You know, Base Motorsports team's just doing an awesome job. And we can't ask for anything better. I mean, except for 2 more spots, I guess. But I'll tell you what, them guys were fast. You know, my hat's off to them guys. But this crew's doing a great job.
50 points you added to your lead tonight. We talked just a moment ago. I said, what'd that get you? He said, it doesn't matter. But 50 points, about 206. That's pretty stout with 4 races left.
I'll tell you what, this team, you know, they know that I'm going next year over to the Winston Cup side. But they want to win this deal. And they're, you know, they're happy, but yet not, you know. And I wish could have, you know, maybe gone together, but, you know, I think some opportunities are good for me where we're going to do. But this team's a great team. They're showing they got a stout race car, good crew. Lifting team Monte Carlo, man, ran great tonight. Just a little short is all.
Congratulations on a good effort. Where are you going next year?
Side.
Oh, darn, I thought we'd get it there. Mike?
Well, even with the breakup, we weren't going to get it. There are at least 2 major Winston Cup teams vying for Johnny Benson's services in 1996. So Benson now leads Chad Little by 206. Jeff Green is in 3rd. He closed some ground tonight. Mike McLaughlin 4th, Jason Keller 5th. No changes there, except that those positions have spread out just a little bit. Green to McLaughlin was 7 points. It's now 13, for example. Larry Pearson hangs on to 6th. Tim Fita was 7th. Elton Sawyer moves up to 8th, knocking Bobby Dotter out of the top 10. Phil Parsons moves from 10th to 9th. And rookie Jeff Fuller climbs from 11th up to 10th in the standings. 4 races to go. Next week, we're right back here on TNN next Saturday from Dover, Delaware. A lot more to show you and tell you, including Super Truck highlights here on TNN. Stay with us.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Autolite Platinum 250 on TNN is brought to you by Allied Signals Autolite Spark Plugs. Guaranteed for 2 years, no matter how far you go.
And for information on Featherlight trailers, call 1-800-800-1230. Featherlight, official trailer of NASCAR. Well, let's get the other side of that last lap collision from Glenn Jarrett.
Well, you can see Jeff Green looking down there. We've got a little handheld television here, in fact, and we're going to take a look at that replay. Jeff, take us through what you thought happened. We got Chad's side of it. Tell us your version of it.
Well, Glenn, I was real loose all night. We kept working on getting it tighter and tighter, and the last lap come down, and I done got up Chad a couple times. We run, I mean, side by side for 10 or 15 laps there, and I just got in a little bit too hot and lost it and got up into him, and I hate it. And they think I took him out, but that's the last thing I do to him. We're racing for points. 4 races to go, or 5 races to go now, and every point counts for me. So I just want to get every position we can get. And I wouldn't take anybody out to better myself in the points by no means, but that was just a position. I was just trying to get everything we could get.
Well, it looked like as you were going in the corner there, I could see on the replay there, it looked like the back end of the car had already started around.
Yeah, it's kind of like whoever let off first would win, and I was trying to just out deep him there, and I just got in too deep, and I hate it for him. Those guys are mad at me over there, but we'll just go on to next week and hope they'll get over it, and we'll try to get the good wrench car in victory lane next week.
Well, you're involved in a real tight battle for third place in the points yourself, so you can't give up anything.
I can't. 34 car and the 57 car, I don't know where they finished. Don't even know where I finished, really, but it was really a decent night for us till that happened, and I didn't have a scratch on the car till then. Chad thinks I took him out, but I wouldn't do that. I could have done it 100 laps before that if I wanted to do that, but I sure wouldn't wait till the last lap to do it. I just hate it for him because he's in such a tight battle with Johnny, but we'll just go on. Hope they're not too bad feelings.
Well, I'm sure that feelings will calm down somewhat when we get to Dover next week. In the heat of competition, folks, emotions, tempers will flare a little bit. You lost 2 positions at the end there, Jeff. You wound up in 15th, and I know you guys, you're one of the cleanest racers out there, and things will die down. We'll see you next week at Dover.
Well, I appreciate it. I hope you go over and tell them guys that.
Well, I tried.
And to answer Jeff's question, he finished 2 positions ahead of 4th place point man Mike McLaughlin, and he was, let's see, 7 spots ahead of Jason Keller, who is 5th in the points. And that's the kind of way you hope these things turn out.
Oh, yeah. These guys are racing hard. Jeff Green's worried about how Chad Little feels right now, but if the tables were turned, Chad Little would be saying the same thing. Nobody did anything intentional. It just happens on a racetrack that's this tight when you're going through the corners every once in a while. Like he said, he was trying to out-deep him. He didn't make it.
And here the real race begins, the one out of the parking lot. So these folks can go home and get some sleep and come back tomorrow for the Winston Cup race. Well, if they were here last night, they saw a great show. The Super Truck Series by Craftsman was here for 150 laps. On the pole, Terry Labonte, Joe Ruttman on the outside. 3 wide, that's Ron Hornaday coming up from 4th starting spot. 2 big incidents took out 2 of the big point men in this race. As you see, Labonte leading the first laps. Scott Legacy, 24, got turned around. Here comes Walker Evans and Butch Miller in the 98, the Ray Bestis truck. Miller was the 4th place point man. Racing for the lead or for 2nd place, Jeff Bodine gets in at number 16. That's Ron Hornaday Jr., the 3rd place point man, and Hornaday ended up in the fence. Came down to a typical NASCAR finish. The 7 is Bodine. The 5 is Labonte. Is this the last lap? How close did it get? Right there. That was the checkered flag. Big win for Terry Labonte. Remember in the opener at Phoenix, Mike Skinner beat him by just that same amount. So Labonte gets a little bit of revenge on that group. And it was a great show. Labonte and Jeff Bodine, the front 2. Let's go down to pit road once again.
Well, a somewhat somber-looking David Green, but not a bad night. I mean, it wasn't one of your best, but considering the way some things have gone this year, it wasn't too bad a night.
For this year, I think it's one of the best, maybe, but Slim Jim car ran good, and there at the first, I really liked the green flag run. Kind of caught up on Mark a little bit right there, and we never adjusted the car, but maybe the track conditions got away from us a little bit, and just got so loose there at the end I couldn't hang on. And I know it was a tough night, but we've had so many problems at the end. It's good to finish one, and I think when we don't finish, I get a little rusty. The team gets a little rusty, but we all got a smile on our face and go on. But my hat's off to these guys. They work hard every week, even though it's not a championship type year.
Well, what is it, David, at Richmond, we always see this thing coming down to fresh tires versus worn tires, guys changing tires on the caution, guys waiting, catching them under green. What is it about this racetrack? You got a lot of experience here, run a lot of laps here, but every time we come here, that's what it boils down to.
Well, I think more than anything, the track's still in excellent shape, but it's just getting wore down a little bit, and it's losing its grip. But I think the biggest thing is what I thought tonight was the deal practicing here today is 80 and 90 degrees, and then we race at 8 or 9 o'clock, whatever it is. Track conditions change a lot, so I think it just people overcompensate. But again, the asphalt, it don't last forever, and those Goodyear tires kind of eat it up a little bit.
Well, I want to ask one quick question before we go away. Diane Hollingsworth, his fiance, come here, please. Now, he told us before the race he shaved the mustache off for good luck. How do you like it?
Oh, I like it, and I had nothing to do with it. That was all his own idea.
Folks don't believe that. A woman has spoken.
Glenn, where's your razor? David Green gets his 5th top 10 finish this year. Sunday, September 10th, TNN Motorsports will be live from Kokona, Wisconsin. The Tournament of Speed 300. That's the ASA race, beginning at 2 p.m. Eastern, exclusively here on TNN Motorsports. That is Sunday. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, TNN Fast Tracks, a 30-minute special taking you to Dover Downs in the area, leading up to our live exclusive coverage next weekend. Saturday, September 16th at 1 o'clock, the MBNA 200 Busch Grand National Race. And a week from Sunday, that'll be September 17th, the MBNA 500 presented by Gladiator Vans Winston Cup race. It all comes your way here on TNN Motorsports. We'll be right back to Richmond International Raceway after this.